Hi, this is Steve. This is my partner Austin, and today we are talking about a very important topic, and that is what to offer businesses as you're starting your new agency. And you want to keep this simple. What knocks most agencies out, and most agencies will not make it because they try to be everything to everyone. They try to be SEO agency, they try to be a paid ads agency, they try to be a social media, email marketing, web design, content, everything all in one. And that's very, very time consuming, very, very hard to do. And it's hard to be good at everything. So most people are good at a few things and not everything. So today we're going to talk about what you can do, especially if you don't have any experience, you're just starting out. And even if you do have experience, the things we're going to talk about today are really easy sells. And well, when I say easy, they easier than any of the others. Anybody who's in this line of work knows that you've got to work hard to get business, and people have to trust you. They have to believe in you. So nothing's easy. Everything takes work. But if you're willing to put in the work, you can make this work. So what we're going to start off with is Google Business Profile because everybody can do this. This is not rocket science. It just takes consistency. And I have up on here Chicago electrician, and you can see the main category electrician. Let's see, we got electrician. Now we got electrical installation service. Let's see, we got electric vehicle charging station, contractor, electrical installation service, electrical repair shop, and plumber. So what I'm suggesting to you is I believe all of these people can add on to electrician. Electrician is their main one, and the main one is the most important, as we've talked about. But these secondary categories help a lot too. I believe probably almost every electrician can add on electrical installation service. They probably all do that. Um, Electrical repair shop, they probably all do that. So when you are in Google Business Profile and you're looking for categories, you'll have to type in something there and you'll see what they give you. So type in electrician and note everything that's around there. So obviously electrician will come up. You click on that, there's your main category. But it's the secondary ones. I would probably go down to electric. Type that electric in there and see what comes up after that. And then talk to your electrician that you just got the job from and say, these are possible subcategories. Do you do these things? And if they say yes, perfect, you get them in there. Every subcategory is going to be additional revenue for the business you're working with. So this is really, really easy stuff. And this is something that they don't know how to do. They're great electricians. They know how to set up the lighting in your house. They know how to get everything working like that, but they don't know this stuff at all. Similarly, if your electricity goes out and you're not very good at that, you're not going to know what to do. You're going to be looking around saying it's dark and I'm stuck. That's how they are with this stuff. It's almost exactly the same. So when you bring this to the table, that's huge. And now posts. So you want to be able to do a post for them. You can decide whatever the right number is, but if you can get in at least 2 posts a week, that's very helpful. If you can do it every day, that's more helpful. Uh, and that we're working with a business right now where we're getting in a post every single day, and our posts aren't amazing. They say completed this job in this city, and we show a picture of it. That's our post. That's how a lot of our posts are, because Google's looking for that second opinion. You gave them the first opinion, and okay, this person's an electrician. Now you showed them in a post they just did a job as an electrician, and maybe they did it in the same. Hopefully they did it in Chicago, whatever town they're in. You can put completed this in Chicago. That shows them okay, they actually do that. Um, and just these simple things will take you from being, um, a guy off the street to a guy that knows what he's doing. And you tie this in with the website audit. And on the audit, I guarantee you it's going to show that if they have a website, it's probably going to look pretty nice. They probably hired somebody, but it will not be good for them as far as getting extra business. Every category, subcategory, you need to have a separate service page on his website. So let's just look at Sapphire Electric. They need one for electrician, one for electrical installation service. Sims and Sons, you can see one for electrician, one for electrical vehicle charging station, contractor, etc., etc., etc. And surprisingly, like an electrician we're working with, we had no idea they did this, but they do those charging stations too. So make sure that you check with the person you're working with, and if they do these things, get them on get these things on their categories and subcategories, because that makes a big difference. Google doesn't know they do it if you don't tell them. So it's not a hard thing, but if you do it right, you'll be worth a lot to their business. That's definitely worth worth more than you're going to charge for it. In our next video, we're going to talk about how much to charge for your services. This is something that if you're new, you don't know what to charge. And I've seen a lot of people online that will basically tell you probably to overcharge. And not that that's a bad thing. If you come in too low, and you stay low, you'll never end up as successful as you want to be. But if you end up too high, you probably won't even get started. You'll be sitting on the sidelines watching others make business. So you want to get to the sweet spot. You want to get to the spots where people will hire you. And as you build up your reputation, you can start to add some to your pay, but you don't want to come in too high right at the beginning where you can't get started. So Google Business Profile Management is where I would start, and it's extremely easy to do. You can do it right now. You don't need expensive tools to do it. You don't need a bunch of software. You can do this on your own with very minimal things to start. And the beauty of it is there's not a local business that doesn't need this. Every single local business needs this, and they know the importance of it. They know that if they're down at the bottom of the list, they're not getting calls. You don't even have to rub the salt in the wound that bad on this one. They know they're hurting by not being ranked up higher. They get that. So in the Google Business Profile program, I would offer that you'll square up their categories, the subcategories. You'll get them a nice description. Your services page will be updated. You'll get good photos, and the hours will be accurate. And when looking at hours, make sure you pay attention to holidays. Make sure if it's a holiday, you've marked that off on your Google Business Profile. Google doesn't like when you're acting as if you're there and you're not there. Even if it's a rare opportunity like a holiday, they frown upon it, and they may push you down for it. They can do worse. So you definitely want to be up to date on that. I would recommend doing at least 2 weekly Google Business Profile posts, and if you can do more, do more. Along with this, check the reviews and respond to every review. So every single one, whether it's good or bad, make sure to respond to it very professionally. If it's good, thank them. If it's bad, acknowledge it, that you apologize. And in fact, if it's bad, definitely talk to the electrician or whoever you're working with about it, and just come up with a plan on how we can correct this. But negative review hurts bad, but the response handled professionally helps a lot. Tell them you will monitor their performance with the Google Business Profile Insights, and we will have another video talking about the insights, what to look for on that. But for the most part, you'll understand it when you look at it. But we will have an in-depth type of video about that coming later. And also, you will fight spam and listing protection as needed. You'll protect the website um, and make sure that people that are trying to hack into it can't hack into it. I'll talk about that again later, how you might do that. But we will talk the next time about what to charge for these services. But I'm going to turn it over to Austin. He's going to finish you off here on what he would do starting off a new agency.
Yeah, so a few more services you should offer. Local SEO. You should pair it with GBP because it's kind of like two sides of the same coin. One feeds the other. Clients who want to rank on Google Maps almost always benefit from local SEO work on their website too. Selling them together is just a natural upsell that increases your monthly retainer value significantly. Um, significantly. The skill set overlaps heavily. They both involve keyword research, local citations, on-page optimization. Um, what's included in the local SEO retainer? Local keyword research specific to the service area. On-page optimization, like title tags, meta descriptions, headers, content, citation building and cleanup, name, address, phone number, consistency across directories, Google Search Console setup and monitoring, a monthly ranking report showing movement for target keywords, and basic link building, like local directories, Chamber of Commerce, industry associations, stuff like that. Another thing is just building a website, design and optimization. So basically, traffic goes to your website usually. So it's really like an important place to leave a good impression. A poorly designed or outdated website can kill your conversions. Offering website services protects your result and your reputation. It's a high-value one-time project that generates significant upfront revenue. There's two ways to offer website services. Just build a website ground up, uh, which that obviously you can charge a lot for that. And it creates a strong relationship between you and the client, and you're likely to have more retainer work. Option two is just basically optimizing a website. Obviously, it's easier than just building it up from the ground up, but what not to offer yet? Paid advertisement. You can do this, but it is high risk and requires significant expertise. And clients can get mad if your ads don't convert. Email marketing, again, it's valuable, but it's better as an upsell after you establish trust. Video production, kind of same thing with the paid advertisement. It takes a lot. There's a high skill requirement, and sometimes clients can get mad. Also, national SEO. You're probably not going to be representing Amazon, so you probably really shouldn't worry about national SEO unless you're doing something very, very niche, which we talked about a couple of videos ago.
Want me to take over?
Yeah.
All right. We've been talking a while. So as you're sitting here, you're thinking to yourself, you can probably do this, and that's exactly what we want you to think about this, is that you can do this. And what are you actually selling to businesses? And you're selling them additional customers that are going to be buyers. That's what you want to come across. They don't really care that much about the stats. A lot of people in the agencies get caught up into saying, I can get you in the top 3 on the map pack. I can get you this. I can get you that. I can get you. What they want is more revenue. So you have to sell them what they want and tell them you can get them more revenue. Tell them you're going to need at least 2 months to 3 months for them to really start seeing it, because we don't want to set the expectations too high. It takes some time to get this going. But we will talk about how much to charge on the next one. That's when you're definitely going to want to pay attention to. But for now, basically just remember that you're selling them additional business, additional revenue, above and beyond what you're charging. Uh, we have made promises such as um, double what you pay as guarantee. Uh, whatever you need to do to get the business, as long as you're confident you can do it, and if you're setting these things up right, you will be able to do it. Austin mentioned not to do paid advertising, and I completely agree that many times comes out to be a loser, and you'll lose your job right away if it doesn't work right off the bat. Businesses are not interested in paying you money for ads that don't work. They're already good. Excuse me for that. They're already great at doing ads that don't work, so they don't need your help on that. Austin mentioned citations, and in case we had not talked about that, I just wanted to tell you what that meant. Local citations are things pointing to your business um, from a local area, such as your chamber of commerce. If you can get a link from there to to your business, that shows that you are a local business working in that area. That's excellent thing. If you can get some citations for the businesses, that's great. One other thing you talked about was NAP, which is name, address, phone number. You want to make sure those are consistent across all areas that people have put their name into, such as Yelp, just all those types of things. It has to be exactly the same. If you write out road one time, don't write RD the next time. Have it exactly the same. That helps Google know what you're doing. So basically, um, we just want to make this simple. Don't overdo it. Don't try to be everything to everybody. Um, be a Google Business Profile agency, and start there. You can tie it in with website. I think if you know stuff about doing websites and how to fix those, perfect. That's your perfect place to start. You can make good money with that. And the next video tomorrow, we will discuss how much to charge for your service. This is the one you've been waiting for, the most important one probably, and you will get that tomorrow. Thanks for stopping in.